The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Hi, Lieutenant. How are you doing? Aw, did you find your land nav point, Lieutenant? Good job, Lieutenant. You get a
Expert Action Badge.
Put on your uniform right?
Expert Action Badge.
Show up to work on time.
Expert Action Badge.
Qualify on your weapon.
Expert Action Badge. Badge of Action.
Find your guidon.
Expert Action Badge.
That's right. Just doing your normal warrior task and drills, you get a
Expert Action Badge.
each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Shit in a bag, Pogue. Badge of Action. The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio. Action Badge.
What is going on, Nation? Hello, it is February 6th, and it's time for Jose's Taco Truck with Tamia, KJ. Okay, that was a horrible fucking, that was absolutely horrible, Mario impersonation, but you know what? Whatever. We laid Spurs to rest. He is currently, being dragged behind the Monday edition, kicking and screaming. This whole hazing process, I mean, initiation process we have is really entertaining. But yeah, oh my God, this past weekend has been just nothing but incredible. And, you know, I've been having a lot of fun and stuff like that. And I got so much to tell you guys. Oh my God. First and foremost, we have a wonderful guest coming on. We have Terri Burns from TSGLI Claim Assistance. And they'll be coming on in the second hour. That way they can, you know, if you're not sure if you qualify for TSGLI, you know, how to get help with your claim if you get denied, bam, you can contact them. I'll put all that information in the chat and all that jazz. But they'll be on in the second hour. Oh my God, that Super Bowl. Oh my God, that Super Bowl. I was losing my shit. All right, first of all, I'm a Patriots fan. I love the Patriots. I love Brady. I love Belichick. I love Amendola. I love Gronkowski. I love them all. I even love LeBlanc. Even though he played for the Eagles, I still love LeBlanc. You know. And watching that game, it didn't matter to me who won. By the end of the second quarter, by the end of the first half, I was enthralled. I was happy because it was a good game. It was fun to watch. It kept me sitting there going, "Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God." And it was just incredible to watch. But there's one thing that sticks out from that entire game is that it was the most yards played in a postseason game and a Super Bowl. I think it was over 1,100. I think it was, yeah. It was 11. It's like 1,100. Hold on. How many yards? Google, help me, please. It was the most yards ever played in a Super Bowl and in a postseason game, and that was just incredible. Let's see. How many yards was it? 1,151 yards. 1,151 yards total. So almost 12 football fields were played. And that just goes to speak on how much endurance and skill you need to play professional football. That is just insane. Fuck you, taxation is not theft. God damn it. Every fucking time, Chris. Every fucking time. Your dual fucking lightsabers. Taxation is not theft. But yeah, it was an incredible game. I loved watching, you know, Brady try to pull that hat trick and he fails and there goes the Super Bowl. And then not even another quarter away, you know, it was bam, Eagles do it, pull it off. That was fantastic. It was probably one of the best games I've ever watched in my 16, 17 years of recalling football games. It was the best. That's it. It was the best. This will go down as my number one because it was, even though my team lost, it was incredibly fun, and the spirit of the game wasn't lost. And then Justin Timberlake came on, and I'm a huge Justin Timberlake fan, which sounds kind of gay, but it's true. So of course Justin Timberlake comes on, and I'm sitting there, I'm sitting there streaming it for my buddies who are can't indisposed and can't watch on TV. I'm sitting there like, as long as I got my suit and tie, I'll make it all come alive. Just sitting there just bobbing my head and doing all them funky little dance moves you do in an office chair. Because that's how I do it. Oh, lordy, 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 lordy. All in all, I don't know, and those Tide commercials. Oh my God, it's a Tide ad. The minute I saw the Old Spice guy come up, I'm like, oh my God, he's back. We have another Old Spice commercial that's quotable. And then, nope, Tide commercial. Son of a bitch. Them Tide commercials got me rolling. A lot of the commercials for the Super Bowl were great. Were fantastic. And just, oh God, and then, oh God, Solo. That was fucking great. Fuck you, Pookie, for sending me the goddamn Pennywise clown dancing gif, asshole. That Solo trailer was fantastic and it was fun. I felt it was perfect for what the character is. And then my closest to my heart, Jurassic Park, Fallen Kingdom. Oh my God, Jurassic Park, Fallen Kingdom. I am so excited for Jurassic Park, Fallen Kingdom because I'm a dinosaur now. Like, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a paleontologist. So, like, sitting there and watching, I was like, oh my God, Blue's back! And getting to watch Blue get ready to go toe-to-toe with whatever the mystery dinosaur is. I'm excited. I'm really excited. And then Black Panther comes out this month, and now it's oh God, yes. Black Panther, fucking Jurassic World, Avengers, Infinity War. I'm gonna be broke. Speaking of money, so I went and did a bar thing last night. That was fucking brutal. But oh my God, I'm going to beg you, audience. I'm begging you. Personally, I'm begging you. If you ever order a layered drink and it's at a busy bar and I'm there, you see my face there, I'll just smack the shit out of you and hand you a fucking beer. That's it. I'm just gonna. It's like, you sure you want that fucking buttery nipple? Are you sure? Okay. Have a Budweiser. Because it is the most frustrating fucking thing to make. Ever. You bastards with your fucking layered drinks. Fuck off. Takes me fucking 3.5, 4 minutes to make a fucking layered drink when it could take me 30 seconds to make you a goddamn fucking shot. Asshole. And that's the other thing. You get more liquor with a shot. Motherfucker. I got you, fam. I actually have an excellent drink that I'm making. So I've been making drinks I've been making up drinks for everyone in the WTF Nation, specifically for them. And now that I know Spanky likes Jameson, it actually works well, because I was thinking of an Irish whiskey drink for you. So, but then I also decided I wanted to play around, and don't be lazy, make me a buttery nipple. Fuck you. No buttery nipples for you. So, one of the things I thought that actually was selling pretty damn well is I got some shaved ice, and I balled it up, and I put it on top of a cocktail glass. And actually, I'll use this wine glass for example. Sorry, wife and I had wine last night. So, ice, shaved ice in the glass. And on the very top, what I did was I put a teardrop of orange curacao and a teardrop of blue curacao. And lo and behold, what does that look like? A fucking Tide Pod! Oh yeah. KJ coming in hard with the snow flavored drinks. Fireball Jack Daniels come up with one. Oh, that's easy peasy, dude. That's the thing. Like when you're crossing, like when it comes to making your own drinks, like when you have whiskeys, it's easy, especially when you're dealing with one family. But then, like, if you said something like, "Oh, I want Jose Cuervo Espada, and then I want I want you to throw in some Jack Daniels fire in there. I'm like, oh, great. Fuck me. How the fuck am I going to make a trick with that one? But Fireball Jack, easy peasy. Fireball Jack, Jack Daniels, Fireball, then Jack Daniels, then a little bit of Bacardi 151, light it on fire. There you go. Have a flaming shot. I got your back, D-Max. We gonna get lit tonight, fam. But yeah, it's. I haven't been this happy with a career choice since fucking the military. Like, and that says a lot. Like, I thought, oh hey, the cash but I'm getting into it and I'm enjoying myself, and that's something that you don't. We need to talk to our children about this one, because there's jobs. It won't hurt, D-Max. Oh, you want Jack, Jim, Johnny, and Jose? Roger, Chris. We got to talk to our kids about these technical careers. You know, one of the biggest things is you have, of course, the plumbers, the electricians, but then you have technical careers in all fields, and one of them, like in the restaurant business, is bartending, and that's a very technical field, and it's fucking fantastic. It pays great. I get a cut of all the tips. I'm making good fucking money. It's a good fucking gig. It's a load of fucking fun. You know, I got classes continuing tonight, and I'm fucking excited because tonight is my first night of cognac. I want to specialize in cognac, whiskey, bourbons, and scotches. So like tonight, I'm learning all about cognacs and all different kinds of cognacs, and I'm drinking cognac. And I'm gonna be sitting there going, "It's so fucking good, your beer." Yeah, I'm gonna be drunk as shit. I'll call it the Flaming Flush. The Flaming Flusher, D-Max. Your drink is the Flaming Flusher. Fireball whiskey, Jack Daniels layered, and we'll top it off with burning Bacardi 151. And it'll be the Flaming Flush. How's that sound, D-Max? Do you like that? Oh, Lord. What were the records? Oh, okay, here are all the records broken for the Super Bowl, by the way. Most games, Tom Brady, 8. Most games, head coach, Bill Belichick, 8. Most passes, career, 357, Tom Brady. Most completions, career, 235, Tom Brady. Most passing yards, game, 505, Tom Brady. Most touchdown passes, career, 18, Tom Brady. Most games, team, 10, New England. Most points, game, losing team, 33, New England. Most final downs, passing game, both teams, 42. Most total yards, game, team, 613, New England. Jesus Christ, just New England. So we dominated the fucking records. Haha. Sucks to suck everyone else. Don't get me started on absinthe. I won't fucking touch absinthe. I would never touch absinthe. Well, southern absinthe. I'll touch northern, but I won't touch southern. Northern's the stuff you can buy in the U.S. All I know is I'm not a fan of fucking kegs. I'd rather just give you a bottle and pour the drink out because it's just easier. Kegs are a fucking pain in the ass. Oh, lordy. All right, let's get triggered before we have our guest on, shall we? So, disarmament official. North Korea may be only months away from ability to strike the U.S. with nuke. Yeah, I took my month hiatus off of North Korea. We're back. North Korea is just months away from being able to strike the United States mainland with a nuclear weapon, a U.S. envoy said Tuesday. According to a report by Reuters, U.S. Disarmament Ambassador Robert Wood told a conference in Geneva that the country has accelerated its pursuit of nuclear weapons in recent months. Great. North Korea has accelerated its provocative pursuit of nuclear weapons and missile capabilities and expressed explicit threats to use nuclear weapons against the United States and its allies in the region. North Korea officials insist they will not give up nuclear weapons, and North Korea may now only be months away from the capability to strike the United States with nuclear-armed ballistic missiles, he continued. Woods later told Reuters that he had no new information to share when questioned on the basis for his assessment of North Korean missile technology. Russia, China, and North Korea are growing their stockpiles, increasing the prominence of nuclear weapons in their security strategies, and, in some cases, pursuing the development of new nuclear capabilities to threaten other peaceful nations, Wood told Reuters. We are not going to stick our head in the sand. We are going to respond to these growing challenges. North Korea last year tested a ballistic missile that experts believed is capable of reaching the U.S. mainland, though the country isn't believed to be able to mount a nuclear device on the missile. Experts say North Korea is close, however, to reaching that milestone. In January, residents of Hawaii were sent into panic when a false missile alert was sent by the state's emergency management agency that warned a ballistic missile threat was incoming. Okay, so first of all, it's rhetoric. And y'all thought I was going to go fucking ham on Lil' Kim today. No, I'm going ham on fucking people. It's rhetoric. Yes, of course, they've been months away. Yeah, about a year ago. Yeah, definitely. I could definitely say a year ago that I expect North Korea to be within the next year or so, by 2018, to be nuclear ready, nuclear capable. And that's what bothers me, is you have... That should not be a commonplace thing. You know, nuclear disarmament is something I heavily believe in, because nukes are... You can't... Chemical warfare, nuclear warfare, those I don't like those. I don't like them at all. I don't agree with them in any shape or form, because there's no way to stop insane collateral damage. So if you're having a nuke go off, the radiation, first of all, you should have a damn good reason to use a nuke. And second of all, and I mean a damn good reason, like Japan wasn't going to, ever surrender. Well, drop 2 nukes, they surrendered, war's over. North Korea isn't ever going to surrender, but we have an ally that's so close to there. How are we going to justify dropping a nuke or a chemical weapon onto North Korea? This reminds me of a dream last night. Woke up sweating balls over ballistic missiles hitting our town and driving around trying to dodge like crazy. Less coffee before bed, D-Max. That's the only thing I can recommend there. But it's nuclear weapons are, unfortunately, they're part of everyone's arsenals, and they're there. And the headache I have with nuclear weapons now. What's up, Sevenville Fred? The problem I have with nuclear weaponry now is that there's so much more effective means of laying waste to a country. In sheer total destruction, then nothing can compare to the nuke. But you drop a Moab on pretty much anywhere, and that whole area is fucking destroyed. It's devastated. And it's rehabitable. That's the problem with nuclear fallout. I mean, I just started playing Stalker, Call of Pripyat, and going through the zone, which is the Chernobyl and Pripyat. They do a really good job of demonstrating the radiation. You stray too far in certain areas, you're going to die of radiation poisoning very quickly. There's no amount of protection that can help you. You will die of radiation poisoning. And it's one of those things of, with a Moab, you don't have to worry about radiation poisoning. With conventional weaponry, you don't have to worry about these things, radiation or chemical poisoning. But when you start looking at these weapons of mass destruction, that's where it starts getting nerve-wracking, because at some point we're going to have to reclaim that. At some point we're going to have to live there again. I mean, look at Chernobyl and the Pripyat area. People are moving back into there, and it's only been 30 years after the incident. There are still incredibly hot spots there, and people are living there full time, living there and working there and being tour guides and hunting the boars. And I'm sitting there going, what the fuck, man? You're living in an irradiated area. But as humans, we need space to expand. So nuking North Korea is not a viable option, because at some point we're going to need that land. Fallout nailed radiation very well. Fallout 1 and 2, 3 pretty okay, but 4 was we're not talking about 4. It's one of those things of, we can't experience radiation except through media. So looking at how media has portrayed radiation, which is usually fairly accurate, and we'll use Fallout, we'll use fucking Stalker. Radiation it creeps. It's the best way to say it. You don't see it coming, you don't feel it coming until it's too late, and then you're poisoned. Nuking North Korea and them nuking the United States, it serves no long-term purpose other than, I just got rid of my enemy ally. Wow. That's what I get for staying up till 4 in the fucking morning. Can't speak English. it's okay, great. It's area denial, it's scorched earth, but whoever becomes a victor here in this war, in this upcoming conflict, which is at some point going to happen, be it politically or military wise, you know, at some point where you're going to need that land, you're going to need the U.S. If North Korea nukes the United States, you're going to need the land of the United States to fucking build farms and all that shit to feed your fucking ever-growing empire. And the same with the U.S. The South Koreans are going to need to expand with a fragmented North Korea, and all those North Korean people are going to need to have a place to go to when Kim Jong Il gets blasted away into next fucking Tuesday. Yeah, exactly, D-Mac. Short term, you're rid of the enemy with a nuclear chemical weapon. Long term, you're rid of an ally. Which is kind of weird because the only people that we've used a nuclear weapon against has been the Japanese, and they are pretty close to us. They're, I wouldn't call them defensive allies, because they don't really have defense. They don't really have a stable fucking hardcore who military like most of our other allies do. But economic allies, definitely. We're just as reliant on them for the economy as they are on us. It's North fucking Korea, guys. There's really not much you can do with North Korea. Except, stick your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye if they decide to launch nukes. Although if they do that, then I get to live out my fantasies of living in a Mad Max stalker world, and I can just run around being all cheeky breeky, and then that's a whole nother separate story. I mean that'll give me a fantasy boner. I'll be happy, running around screaming, cheeky breeky, making no fucking sense. Yeah, because that's what I do. Oh Lord. Oh, that's something I should tell you all about. You fucking have a laugh before I fucking go any further talking about nuclear radiation and shit. So like I said, I started playing Stalker, and for years and years and years. Remember, I'm 26. Fucking, this game came out in 2009. So years I hear about the Stalker series and how incredibly advanced it is and how hard the AI is. And I finally decided, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to play some Stalker. I got it. I'm playing it. I'm enjoying it. And the entire time I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, I got this. All right. What the fuck was that noise? And these fucking, I look over to the left side and I see these fucking tentacles reaching around the screen. I'm like, yeah, nope, fuck that shit. I ain't dealing with fucking mutants. I'd rather deal with fucking people. Had this fucking thing called a bloodsucker, which is just pretty much a Cthulhu-style monster. It's just a human being that instead of having a mouth, he's got fucking tentacles. And he's just fucking sitting there and he sucks you dry of all your blood. And of course, my retarded ass hears the fucking screaming, and I'm like, oh, I should probably investigate that instead of, oh, I should probably run the fuck away. Way to go, KJ. You're fucking brilliant. Because I turn around and it's just, oh, hey, there's tentacles in my face. I felt like a little Japanese schoolgirl in one of those anime movies. That's something else that's really cool. Fucking talking pop culture is that we're getting a Slender Man movie. We're getting Slender Man. We're getting, oh God, list of movies. Oh man, movies. List of movies 2018. Oh God, yes. Oh God, yes. Black Panther, Avengers, Solo, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Oh, okay. Ready Player One. Ready Player One is what I'm stupid excited for. That is one of my favorite books of all time. And that is just, oh God, yes. So Ready Player One is the idea that eventually humanity just becomes so fucking stubborn that we don't do anything renewable and we pretty much let the earth eat itself. And in order to escape the hellscape, we build this giant fucking virtual reality called the Oasis. And it's fucking brilliant. The story is fun. The whole idea is the main character is named like Wade Watts. So like Peter Parker, Clark Kent, more of a superhero name. It's cool as shit. And then the uber important KG's gonna show how much of a fucking nerd he is. Venom. Venom is getting his own movie 2018. And I am excited because we get Mad Max and Bane, Tom Hardy. He's playing Venom. And that's going to be fucking great. I am excited. one of the favorite, okay, so we all heard me fucking, I love fucking, can I get 2 whole pieces, both with everything, banana pepper? I'm sorry, we're not a pizza shop. I can send you tacos, Mikey. Also, has anyone sent Spanky her snacks? Oh, God, no one sent Spanky her snacks. Here's your tacos, Mikey. I can't send you anything else. There you go. I am a huge fucking nerd when it comes to comic books and video games, and Venom is one of my favorite anti-heroes in the world. And the whole story behind Venom's is fantastic, and everything about him and his interactions with Spider-Man, and oh, God, yes. And I'm just excited for Venom. What else we got? We got Tomb Raider, A Wrinkle in Time, which is going to be pretty good. Aquaman's getting his own movie. The Incredibles 2. I'm such a Disney file. The Incredibles 2 is coming out. Pacific Rim Uprising. God, just so many good fucking movies. A sequel to Wreck-It Ralph. Ralph Breaks the Internet. Sicario 2, which when that comes out, I'm gonna be fucking, y'all ain't gonna see me. Y'all ain't gonna see me. This fucking movie year, it's like, oh hey, it's a Tuesday, I gotta go fucking see Sicario 2. Oh hey, it's a fucking Friday, time for me to go see Mortal Engines. I'm dead. I'm gonna waste so much fucking money this year at the movies because there's so many good ones coming out. 12 Strong, I can't wait to see that. The First Purge, Winchester, fucking, oh my god. So many fucking movies. And The Predator. They're redoing The Predator. I don't know how they're redoing The Predator, but they're redoing The Predator. And it's got Olivia Munn in it. You know, future ex-wife number 9. It's got Olivia Munn in it. So, you know, I'm excited for that. You know, I'm always excited when my future ex-wife makes more money for me to get when she decides not to sign a prenup. Okay, I have enough tacos to share. Here, Spanky. Here you go, guys. Get a potatoes, some beer. There you go, guys. That way we're not fucking stealing each other's fucking food. There we go. There we go, folks. You don't need to be stealing each other's food. We're not North Korea. This is the United States. You know, we throw out more food than North Korea can eat. So don't worry, I can make more. I don't know. What are you guys excited for this upcoming year? You know, just talk in terms of nerd, video games, movies, media. I mean, I'm excited for the war with North Korea. Don't get me wrong, it's got stellar review. You know, it's already got stellar reviews on the trailers. Fucking, we have an excellent cast. General Mattis playing as the Secretary of Defense. Donald Trump playing as the President. Kim Jong-il playing as the madman despot dictator. You know, it looks like a great cinematic feature. You know, oh, Deadpool 2. Oh man, Deadpool. Don't get me started on Deadpool. I love Deadpool. And get the fuck out. D-Max, I will tell you now that when GTFO comes out, I've already reached out. I've already reached out to a few people, and I will be fucking playing the fuck out of Get the Fuck Out. And I don't do survival horror. No problem, Mikey. I got your back, fam. You know, it's like I said, I'm excited for the new movie World War III, featuring the United States, North Korea, South Korea, Japan, China, and Russia. You know, that's going to be a great fucking cinematic feature. It could be a multi-part series that takes course over many years. I need some ammo and a level 2 helmet. eBay. Go to eBay. I can give you ammo. No problem. I can give you ammo. What kind of ammo? That's dependent. But level 2 helmet, bitch, please. You ain't get mine. I'm ready for the I am ready for when the North Koreans decide to fucking land paratroopers in Nashville, and I'm ready to go full fucking Red Dawn. Fuck Dark Souls. Dark Souls is absolutely trash. You know, it's one of those things of, I mean, yeah, we've got a bunch of great media coming out, a bunch of great things, but I'm really excited for fucking World War III. It looks to be a great feature-length film, as I'm trying to push this joke, you know. And I keep getting distracted by the text chat. You know, some of the stars, you know, Mikhail Kalashnikov is being represented by his AK-47. You know, Mr. Stoner is being represented by his M4s and AR-15s. It's going to be great. Honestly, it's going to be fantastic. Oh, and don't forget, Einstein is going to appear in the movie with all his work that he did for the nuclear weapons. And I swear to God, dog, enough. I can't win with a corgi. Like my hound shepherd, never a problem. Corgi, fucking I sneeze. Bark, 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 bark. I can't win with the Corgi. I can't. But he's my favorite. The fuck are they? Oh my god, they're chasing my cat. Oh god, this is the life of a pet owner. What's going on in the world anyway? So real quick, if you guys bought a lottery ticket, please note that you cannot stay anonymous if you buy a lottery ticket. A New Hampshire woman who bought a Powerball ticket worth $560 million last month is fighting to remain anonymous, saying in a lawsuit that releasing her name would constitute a significant invasion of her privacy. The woman filed suit against the New Hampshire Lottery Commission under the pseudonym Jane Doe. She says she made a huge mistake when she signed her real name on the back of the ticket before contacting a lawyer, who told her she could have remained anonymous had she established a trust and then had a trustee sign the ticket. The lawsuit, filed last week, described the woman as an engaged community member. She wishes to continue this work and the freedom to walk into a grocery store or attend public events without being known or targeted as the winner of $500 million, the complaint said. It adds that she plans on remaining in New Hampshire and giving back to the state and community that has given so much to her. Okay, so if you're going to buy a lottery ticket, get a trustee, get a trust and a trustee, and have that person sign for it if you want to stay anonymous. Because this stupid-ass woman... And this is the thing that's important about every facet of fucking life. I'll call you, hit the hang up button, then go snap its neck. I'll call you, hit the hang up button. Lol. The thing with the lottery is if you play the lottery, you gotta read the back of the ticket. You know, you gotta go on the website. Like, I play Tennessee Lottery. I buy a Powerball ticket twice a month. You know, I don't like to push my luck. I spend my $4 and I'm happy. And I'll play the Powerball, and I know that if I win, I am not signing for that Powerball ticket. I am giving it to my wife. Why? It screws over my ex-wife, and my child support can't get raised, but I'm giving that ticket to my wife every time, because then if my wife signs for it, then, oh hey, we just made however much millions, and my ex-wife can't fucking make a claim to it. Redneck retirement plan. And it's fun to play the Powerball, but if you're going to play, you need to be smart. You need to look up what is required of you if you win. And for someone to remain anonymous, they should have the ability to do so. And it's there, like it was said. You know, the lawyer said you could have remained anonymous had you established a trust and then had a trustee sign the ticket. But you already followed the rules placed. Deal with it. And you're in New Hampshire. That's even another thing. New Hampshire is fucking amazing. Live free or die. They don't give a shit about what, like, stuff like this. Like, my wife's from New Hampshire. She doesn't give a shit about a person who wins the Powerball. Like, she knows who won the Powerball. That's how tight New Hampshire is. She knows who won the Powerball. It's someone in her very extended family, which is pretty fucking cool. But no one in the family is giving her shit. No one's fucking, anything. It's just, okay, cool, not a problem. We got you. I mean, Merrimack, New Hampshire. Hell yeah. And it was just fucking insane how this woman is afraid that it's going to affect her social standing, because she's a prominent community figure, and she plans on remaining in New Hampshire and giving back to the state and community that's given so much to her. Great. If you're going to do that with $560 million fucking dollars, yeah, then you deserve a little bit of, here you go, good job, pat on the back, sort of stuff. Now, the worst part is the New Hampshire lottery is standing firm. Understands that winning a $560 million Powerball jackpot is a life-changing occurrence, having awarded numerous Powerball jackpots over the years. We also understand that the procedures in place for the prize claimants are critically important for the security and integrity of the lottery, our players, and our games. That's rhetoric. It's fucking rhetoric. Bitch, you won $560 million. You're going to put it back in the community. Hell yeah. Take it and take that bow on stage and fucking roll with it. Shit, I don't even make $500,000. I got a fucking armory. Divulging a lottery's winner name is dangerous and threatens their safety. Really though? I mean, really? Because, like, we talk about people's net worth all the time. There's a good point. We talk about people's net worth all the time. Bill Gates, the guy Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, when he was alive, Tim Wells, Donald Trump. We talk about their net worth and all that all the time. If a random person becomes wealthy, be it through traditional or through the lottery, it doesn't. Their odds of getting robbed aren't increasing or decreasing because the numbers are out there. It isn't like fucking a robber's is sitting there every day with Forbes and going, okay, who's made the Fortune 500? Ah, there we go. KJ's number 499. Yeah, let's rob KJ. First of all, bad mistake, and your last mistake. But second of all, no one's fucking doing that. No fucking robber's doing that. It's just let her bring it to court. And that's the thing about New Hampshire, too. It won't bring out moochers. It won't. It's a whole different fucking world up there. I mean, all right. So, give you an example of New Hampshire versus the rest of the fucking U.S. New Hampshire is the closest thing to, like, hardcore liberty that we have in the U.S. And it's still very fucking tribalistic, is lack of a better word. Like, in New York, yeah, Gronkowski got his house robbed during the Super Bowl. Fucking idiot. Should have locked his doors. But, like, in New York, fucking names carried if you did something. In New Hampshire, your name carries if you continually do something. So, like, the dude in New York will never forget Captain Sully. We'll never forget fucking Giuliani. Those are names that are going to stick with us for the history of New York. But in New Hampshire, the Roby name is fucking synonymous with hard work and fucking guarantee. If they say they're going to do something, they're going to do something. There's many names, Jordan, there's many names in New Hampshire that have heritages that go all the way back to the American Revolution, and just fucking, okay, yeah, he was part of this. He did this. They've done this, and it's you don't see that. I don't see that in the rest of the country, where there's such a pride not only in state but in family. You don't really. I haven't seen that in Nashville. I haven't seen that in fucking Tampa. But in New Hampshire, holy shit. It's fucking insane. I'm married to someone that has a name, one of the big names in New Hampshire, and holy fucking shit, she's treated like the prodigal daughter every fucking time we step in the state. Yes, I'm talking about you, honey. She doesn't like it when I talk about her on the show, but I brag. I brag about my wife. It's one of those things of just, it's a whole different world, and I understand how this woman wants to maintain her secrecy, but if you're going to use that money for a good cause, use it, especially in New Hampshire, where you'll be fucking remembered forever, and you'll make your family name higher. I think the closest thing I think about is like the Nepotic households of the old Germanic tribes. Like where the names are fucking, or like Game of Thrones, where you've had the Lannisters and the Lannisters and the fucking Starks and blah 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 blah. The names carry for generations and generations. Gronkowski got his house robbed during the Super Bowl. That's what fucking tickles me pink. She'll lock your fucking doors, jackass. Oh god. I had something on Canada that wanted me to bang my head into a fucking wall. And I'm trying to find it again. Where is it? There we go. So, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau corrected a woman on her language when she asked a question at a town hall on Friday. She asked whether the Canadian government could ease regulations on volunteering with religious organizations, according to the Washington Free Beacon. And I quote, "So that's why we came here today to ask you to look into the policies that religious charitable organizations have in our legislation, so that it can also be changed, because maternal love is the love that's going to change the future of mankind." And then, like a fucking cunt, Justin Trudeau immediately corrects her and says, we like to say people kind, not necessarily mankind, because it's more inclusive. What the fuck? Mankind is not just men. It's not just okay, you know, we're going to talk about that we're going to talk about feminism. Mankind and third wave feminism specifically. Mankind is not just fucking men. Mankind is humanity. We like to say people kind, not necessarily mankind, because it's more inclusive. I don't give a shit about someone who identifies as a fucking lion. Or a fucking jackass that fucking sits there and goes, oh my god, I'm a fucking trans, queer, fluid, binary gender. First of all, there's no such thing as a trans, queer, fluid, binary gender. Second of all, you're either a man or a fucking woman. You can get a surgery to become a man or become a woman, but no matter what, on the spectrum of things, you are a penis or a vagina. That's it. So, of course, fucking Trudeau is going to be a fucking twat and go, we like to say people kind. No one gives a shit about this fucking retarded minority that is starting to dictate fucking policies in fucking politics. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. It's getting to a point where it's progressive ideology, and this is just fucking Canada. We haven't even started about the U.S. In the U.S., it is destroying the fucking nation. This progressive, politically correct. Because the world is not politically correct. Take that shit to fucking Uganda. Take that shit to fucking Poland. Or, even better, take that shit to the fucking United Arab Emirates and tell them you're a trans queen, gender bending fluid fucking twat waffle, and see how the fucking UAE or fucking Saudi Arabia handles you. Dustin, you identify as an Apache helicopter. At least you're useful. You know, you can fucking gun run the Taliban, you know? But, for fuck's sake, I mean, it's absolutely blatantly retarded that this is happening all over the fucking Western Hemisphere. And that, you know, a woman that had a valid question, and this is the worst part, like, I don't see anything about the question getting answered. That's the part that I don't see is, you know, she asked, look into the policies that religious charitable organizations have in our legislation so that can be changed, because maternal love is the love that's going to change mankind. She wanted to ask about the policies that religious charitable organizations have. You know, and immediately, it's people kind, not mankind. Oh no. What are we gonna do? She said mankind. She said mankind. Oh god, did I say she? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. You're just begging. I identify as a transformer sitting here to hide the keystone. I identify as a fucking EMP and I fucking blow you up. Boom. Now both of you are flat in the water. You know what I find hilarious is, like, you go in fucking like Los Angeles or New York City or fucking Tampa, and you fucking have this fucking retardedness all over. Here in Nashville, like, we don't fucking deal with this shit in Nashville at all. Like, we don't deal. It's like, I identify as a transgender fluid binary gender. Okay, bye. Have fun. You do you. And that's how it is in fucking Nashville. Okay, just don't. Enjoy. Bye. Your thing. Good. Go. In fucking, you know, New York. Oh my god, you're so brave. Oh my god. How did you make that decision? Are you fucking kidding me? Good voice. Probably sounds just like it. Thanks, Mikey. Venom's getting a movie. Yeah, I just popped over to the Mixer chat. Yeah, Venom's getting a movie. Venom's getting his own movie, and Tom Hardy is going to play as Venom. And I'm really excited to see fucking Mad Max and Bane play as Venom. It's just fucking insane. It just is. You know, a woman can't fucking remain fucking anonymous to cash in a lottery ticket because she didn't follow the rules. Okay, you're an idiot. but I can't fucking say mankind in Canada. What the fuck, man? That's just as fucking ridiculous as I can't, I fucking am walking down the street and I say, hey, what's up, dude? And all of a sudden I'm fucking getting verbally assaulted because I didn't realize that you identified as a fucking jelly-filled donut. And that your pronouns are round, rind, and rounder. Which has fucking happened. I still, to this day, do not know if the guy was fucking with me or not. But I have run into someone that identifies as a fucking strawberry jelly-filled donut. I don't fucking know. I know, Venom. Oh, whoa, WTF Nation Gaming. What's that? Shameless self-plug. Honestly, no, fuck it. I'm not getting triggered by this bullshit. I'm not going to be like I'm not going to have the triggering over bullshit like that. Because it's just absolutely ridiculous. Maldives leader says Supreme Court order was coup. So there's a coup in the Maldives. The UN demands Syrian ceasefire as airstrikes pound rebel areas. FEMA contract calls for 30 million meals for Puerto Rico. 50,000 were delivered. And pirates released the crew of oil tankers hijacked in West Africa. Shit's fucked, yo. Shit's fucked in the world. And here in the U.S., we're not doing so hot either. Let's give you a quick rundown on what the fucking top things are. False tsunami warning issued across the East Coast and Caribbean. So, fucking the dude from Hawaii that got fired got hired in the fucking Atlantic. That was fucking brilliant. Way to fucking go. That's also sarcasm. Kellyanne Conway, opioid cabinet, sidelines drug czars experts. Texas teen dies month after allegedly being lured by Snapchat predator. And the spending plan remains unsettled. Oh no. The spending plan remains unsettled as a clock ticks towards government shutdown. Here we go again. The House is set to vote Tuesday evening, two fucking night, on a spending bill that would fund military funding through September at boosted levels, but leave other agencies running on fumes until March. That plan, however, would likely be dead on arrival in the Senate, where Democrats are holding out for a matching increase in non-defense spending, and a bill that emerges from a chamber that could have trouble passing the House. Is it just me, or... Okay, hold on. Here we go. United States annual budget. Let's fucking close this out. Let's see. Where does the fucking money go? Okay. I don't care about your fucking national priorities bullshit. We are spending 500... I'm sorry, this is from 2015. But 2015, we have spent $598 billion on defense. $598 billion on defense, on the military. Food and agriculture, $13.13 billion. Transportation, $26.28 billion. Social security, unemployment, and labor, $29.13 billion. Science, $29 billion. Fucking energy and environment, $39 billion. International affairs, $40 billion. Housing and community, $63 billion. Veterans benefits, $65 billion. $66 billion on Medicare and health. $69 billion on education, and $72 billion on the government. What the fuck? I can't fucking support that. $1.1 trillion in discretionary spending, and over 50% of it is spent exclusively on the military. Now, don't get me wrong. I want our military to be fucking well supplied and fucking well organized and have the best gear available. But $598 billion? Jesus Christ. Comparatively, $598.49 billion, veterans benefits $65.32 billion. Comparatively, $598 billion versus healthcare, $66 billion. This is the part that drives me even fucking further. Education, $69 billion, 6.28% of the budget, compared to $59.49 billion. Holy fuck, I can see where the Democrats are coming from. Over 53.71% of our budget is exclusively to military, and has been for years. What the fuck? It's not like we're getting new fucking Humvees every fucking week. Jesus. Oh, don't get me started on mandatory. I don't want to go to mandatory. That's all fucking discretionary. Mandatory Social Security is fucking 1.2.5 trillion, 1.25 trillion. Fucking Medicare and healthcare is 985 billion. But mandatory spending focuses just on what benefits the fuck, what has to be done every fucking, has to be up and running. Transportation, we need to have our roads up. Fucking veteran benefits, we need to take care of our veterans. Food and agriculture, healthcare, and Social Security. Yeah, okay, of course, 2.45 trillion, but in discretionary, that's what bothers me. Discretionary, which means you have the discretion to change the amount. Fucking 53% of that is going to our military and to military spending, and it's not just going to fucking paying our soldiers. That's paying our airmen. That's for fucking new ships, new fucking vehicles. I mean, I don't fucking see how. I just don't see it. I can't fucking see it. It does not cost, unless we're getting fucking new fucking aircraft carriers every fucking week. I can see that. Unless we're getting new fucking Humvees and Max Pros every week, I could see that. Or new fucking amphibs, I could see justifying that. But right now, we have an education system that's fucking failing us. We have a fucking VA that is appalling. Shit, take a year, fucking switch it around. Drop it to fucking, I don't know, 45%. 45% of our discretionary spending to fucking military. And then put the other 8% of that into fucking the VA. Or fucking transportation. Or fucking science, or fucking healthcare, or education. Jesus fucking Christ. I can see where the shutdown's coming from. Oh, joy, my Facebook is froze. I get to look at myself in a weird face. Yay. That's appalling. That's absolutely appalling. And you know what's even more important? The more important thing here is, like, I'm bringing up the VA, and like, if they put that extra 8% in the VA, then things like TSGLI claim assistance, they'd have more people in the VA to help and assist, and you wouldn't have to go through. I'm not saying you shouldn't. What I'm saying is you wouldn't have to be constantly fighting for TSGLI benefits. If they already had the fucking funds in there, if they already had the fucking money. Yeah. Oh. And with that being said, we're going to segue into our second hour. We're going to go on a quick break. We're going to get Terri in here from TSGLI Claim Assistance. And from there, we're going to have a great second hour with a wonderful guest. So, we will be back in about 8 minutes. 8-9 minutes. So, I bid you shots.
You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.
I wonder if you'll ever know why I am the
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
WTF Nation Radio
is in the house.
And we are back, Nation. We are back with the wonderful Terri Burns from TSGLI Claims Assistance. She was a registered nurse in Colorado, and now she collaborates with attorneys to help our brothers and sisters apply or appeal for TSGLI claims. Hey, Terri, how you doing today?
Good. Hi, KJ. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Oh, not a problem. It's always a pleasure. I'm doing great. Late night, burning the midnight oil.
Oh my.
So up nice and early to get to hear more about, because I have no experience with TSGLI. So this is a whole new venture for me.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of service members out there who don't know about it. I talk to them every day. And so it's actually the Traumatic Service Members Group Life Insurance Program. It's best known for death benefits. However, the service member can be awarded if they have severe traumatic injuries. And of course, there are guidelines that have to be met. First of all, the injury, it can go back to October 7th, 2001 to present. And I'm sorry.
No, don't worry about it. It happens.
Yeah, and so the loss, so the injury has to occur within 2 years of the loss. So those are kind of the basic guidelines, and then of course there are more stringent guidelines once you get into the program.
So you said October 1st of 2000.
October 7th,
October
2001.
7th, 2001. My apologies.
That's okay.
Yeah, so this covers everything from the beginning of the war on terror to now. What are some things that TSGLI help people out with? I like I said, I have minimal experience with TSGLI, so this is also a learning thing for me. If God forbid in the future someone messages me and then, oh hey, I know somebody. I know a little bit too. So.
I also want to mention that it can be combat injury or non-combat injury. So if it's non-combat, it could be a motorcycle accident, motor vehicle accident, it could be a fall, things like that. So it does not have to be combat related. The losses can be, for example, loss of vision, loss of hearing, paralysis. It can be burns to the face or the body, amputations. It can be TBI, coma, things like that. If the service member is unsure if they qualify, they can go online and Google TSGLI guidelines and pull up the guidelines. Take a look at them, see if you think you might qualify. And if you think you might qualify, you can contact myself. And I do give free consultations, and there is never an upfront cost to the service member. So that's
yeah, that's nice, because a lot of veterans, there's, for those that I would assume that are applying for TSGLI for the traumatic side of things, they've already gotten ratings, and they're, oh hey, we're on that fixed income.
right.
That's fantastic to hear. Tell us a little bit more about yourself. And what got you started in this field, because it's. You don't normally. Oh hey, I don't normally hear people waking up in the morning going, oh, you know what? Today I'm going to work on applying for TSGLI claims and dealing with the appeals process for it. How did you get started here?
Yeah. Well, actually, I've been a nurse for over 20 years. I've run the gamut of working in the hospital, cardiology. I was a civilian nurse for the Air Force, I worked with major health insurance companies and reviewing medical records, and I wanted to try something new. So I went to work doing legal nursing with a personal injury attorney here in Colorado Springs. And the secretary had asked me to write an opinion for her husband, who was Army, and he had been injured. He injured his leg. And so she wanted me to write an opinion. I said, sure. So I wrote the opinion, and unfortunately, he did not get awarded. But other service members started talking to him, and I started doing opinions for that personal injury attorney. We actually were advertising. And so we did quite a few claims. He's currently not doing that anymore. But then I wanted to expand my business, so I reached out to some attorneys across the country, and I partner with Peter Cameron, who is also a Navy veteran. He's in San Diego. And if you pull up TSGLI, the first thing that pops up on the internet is tsgli.com. That is Peter Cameron. Unfortunately, he could not be with me today. But so the rest is history. We just started, doing claims. As a registered nurse, I can certify most losses on the application because the application is two parts. The part A is the information that the service member provides. The part B is the medical professional statement that has to be certified by a medical professional. And except for limb salvage and facial reconstruction, as a nurse, I can certify those losses. So I've been working with Peter since 2014, and I've done probably close to 500, 600 claims and appeals.
Jesus. That's booming and bunking right there, just constantly rocking and rolling. That's incredible. 500.
Oh yeah, we are extremely busy.
So you guys are able to work coast to coast, or are you just focusing on the West?
Oh no, we can represent a service member anywhere in the country or in the world, wherever they are.
Man, that is fantastic. I'm trying to find, what was his name? I had a gentleman on here a few weeks ago that also was doing appeals. He was doing appeals with the VA for their claims, and this is I'm noticing a trend now. It's I'm starting to hear more and more in the past couple of years of this is becoming a very active part of being a veteran. Is, oh hey, I'm gonna I got shot in the face. I got facial reconstructive surgery, just using the most extreme example here. And I apply for TSGLI or I apply for benefits and I'm denied. What the hell? And it's looking at I'm at the VA's website and I'm looking at the eligibility and it's just bloody complicated. The way they list it out is just complicated, and then it's you got to also review our list of losses and don't forget use our eligibility questionnaires. Okay, forget that. Let's contact you, Terri, or let's get this ball rolling and see what we can do here. That's definitely something that is preventable. Jonathan Davis. I'm sorry. Thank you, Spanky. Jonathan Davis is another lawyer that's been. Have you reached out to him or worked with him in any capacity?
No, I'm not aware of him, but I will definitely check it out. Thank you. And even if the service member's not sure, it doesn't hurt to ask. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. If I don't feel that they qualify, I will tell them up front. This is what I think. This is my experience. And certainly I'm not the be all, know all. They certainly can get a second opinion, but I pretty much know what's going to be awarded and what's not. Once you apply and you're denied, you have 3 appeals. Once you exhaust those appeals, there's other things we can do. There's litigation. We can do a congressional inquiry. So there's other things you can do if you're continually denied. So that's a good thing.
I'm here on your website and I'm seeing 9 categories of losses, which
Mm-hmm.
each one has its own specific guidelines. Sensory
Yeah.
loss, burns, amputation. Which is which is the most stringent, like the most difficult case that you can have based out of those categories? You know, the sensory loss, the burns, the paralysis,
Yeah.
amputation. What do you know when you get is going to be? Oh, this is going to be a fight.
It's got to be the ADL losses, activities of daily living. And what that is if you are debilitated to the point where you cannot take care of yourself and you medically require someone to help you with basic tasks of bathing, dressing, toileting, transferring, eating, continence, and you only need 2 of those to qualify. If you needed assistance for at least 30 days, then you may qualify for benefits. But the problem is that as a medical professional, you don't have time to document in your medical notes, oh, the patient can't bathe on their own because they can't walk, or they can't get in and out of the shower or get to and from the bathroom or dress themselves. We just don't have time to document that. There's no black and white evidence for the most part. However, there are instances where there are, but it's very few and far between. So the ADL losses are going to be the toughest, and those tend to get denied like right away. And if you do get one of those denials, don't get discouraged. That's not uncommon. But I got to tell you, those kinds of losses, you have a better chance of getting awarded if you have an attorney.
So lawyer up. All right. So
Yeah.
if you can't put on your PJs and
Mm-hmm.
and take a shower, lawyer up.
Yeah.
Now for would you say in general it's better to have a an attorney with you for this process, or is there some things that's just like it's too easy, don't stress it, we see that your arm's been chopped off at the elbow, you're good,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely those are pretty basic claims that tend to get approved. The amputations, of course, they're not going to deny those. Uh, Hospitalization, if you're hospitalized for 15 consecutive days or more, those tend to get awarded pretty readily. Let's see. Those are probably the most common that get awarded without any problems. But the other ones can have gray areas, and if you've got to have medical evidence to support it, such as hearing loss. There has to be audiograms to support your hearing loss, things like that.
Now there's one on here, and I'm going to butcher this name because I am not a medical man, but
Okay,
there's one on here called are you hearing me okay? I see you leaning in. Do you need me to here, hold on, is that better? Can you hear me better?
I can hear you. Thank
Okay, cool. Not a problem. I saw you just like, oh, hey, what's going on with the microphone? There's one on here called, I'm so sorry, genitourinary losses.
you.
Did I?
Genitourinary losses,
Okay.
yes.
Is that what is that? I'm.
Okay, well, if there's a loss of testicle or
Oh.
testicles, loss of the penis, loss of use of the penis, such as uh, permanent erectile dysfunction, loss of the testicles if the service member has damage to that area and they require hormone therapy, testosterone therapy for life, they may qualify for that.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Also, with women, if there is damage to the uterus or the vaginal canal or area, those are the ovaries, those can be awarded. I've actually, I don't see those very often. Sometimes I have done one for a service member who had to use a urinary catheter for the rest of his life. So he was awarded for that because of an injury. So that's what that is.
It was an involuntary cross my legs moment of, oh God, but Jesus, that's it's not a very at the beginning it's not a very happy feel to be in, but at the end, it's got to be very rewarding, when you have someone that's had something horrible or traumatic happen. It's got to definitely, I can see that definitely, sorry about that, definite feeling of accomplishment and pride of, oh hey, here you go, you're good, I got you. We were able to get you your assistance, get you your coverage. What was, if you're willing to share, what was one of the most difficult claims, and probably one of the difficult but rewarding claims that you ever had? If you could share that.
That's pretty easy. I actually did a claim probably like 3 years into it. I had a service member who was severely burned by a gas grill, and she went to the hospital, and the ER doctor computed a burn surface area. So it's a percentage. When you get burned, you go into the hospital, and they calculate what percentage of your body was burned, mainly so that they can replenish IV fluids. Okay, but it's usually documented in your records. And so the ER doctor calculated a burn surface area, and then when she saw the surgeon, he calculated his burn surface area, and then her primary care doctor calculated one too, and they were all different. They were all very different, and none of them met TSGLI guidelines. And when I looked at the amount of burns she had, I said, there's no way that it can be this low of a percentage. So I recalculated it. And fortunately, the surgeon, when he grafted, he had to do skin grafting. He measured the areas. So I used those measurements, I used photographs, and I recalculated the burn surface area. And I was able to get her the total $100,000 in a benefit. And she had been denied several times. So that was probably the most rewarding.
$100,000. Jesus.
Yes.
What have you had any? Have you had any? I can't think of a better way to state this, but funny claims, like where just if it like the guy or woman was completely into it, like, okay, if it could go wrong, it can go wrong, no big deal, just it funny, like, oh hey, I'm looking for this and nothing, oh, the VA told us that we need to provide a chicken sacrifice, what, just something out.
No, I can't say, none of the injuries are funny, and I never want to minimize a service member's injury. It's always a delicate situation when you tell them that, you're sorry you don't qualify. Certainly I've had service members say, I injured my finger, or I sprained my ankle, and I'm trying to get awards for people who have been severely burned and, have had fingers amputated. Ankle. So yeah, that's a tough one.
I mean, I can see with amputated fingers, I can see with amputated toes, but you sprain your ankle, dude. You sprained an ankle, man. Just put it in a brace for a week or two and just move on. It's. Yeah. Have you, now this is the one that's going to rankle me a lot. Have you ever had people that try to actively screw the system? That have actually, like, oh yeah, I've had this and this and this, and by the way, this is, ignore the rest of my arm and my sleeve. It's amputated. Have you ever had that one special idiot that thought, well, let me contact them and see if they can get me this quick and easy money? And because I see injuries that are excluded, you've got things like mental disorder, physical illness, attempted suicide, self-inflicted wound. Have you ever had that brilliant one or two that's like, well, you know what? Let me just grab a screwdriver and start, going to town on my kneecap. And let me get TSGLI out of that too. Ha 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 ha. Screw the system over. Have you had to deal with situations like that at all? And what have
No,
you done?
I haven't. And that is one of the disqualifiers is you cannot self-inflict any wounds. You're automatically disqualified. But I have had service members, have say they broke their hip and they said, oh, I needed 120 days of ADL assistance. Well, as a nurse, I see right through that because I was a surgical trauma nurse. And I said, it's not likely that you needed ADL assistance for that long. And they usually come around, they say, well, probably not. But you know what? I see doctors sign off on it all the time on their applications.
Oh, Lord.
And that's another thing I wanted to talk about too is 75% of the appeals that I look at, whoever filled out the TSGLI application does it incorrectly. And it's more difficult for me to go in and say, they didn't really mean to say that. It's hard to dispute. So just be careful if you have someone else sign off. Make sure that you're being honest, because if you just go for that 120 days of ADL losses and you know that you only had 30 to 45 days, you want your claim to be credible. So I would not do that. So
I'm actually pulling up I'm twitching because I'm pulling up the form and the applying form for VGLI, and it's just I'm lost. I was an infantryman, miss. So it's medical things are not my forte. I know how to stop a sucking chest wound, and that's about it. But this right here, it's paperwork on paperwork on paperwork that blows my mind, and I definitely. This is a field that's starting to come out, especially with the war on terror, and the attitude of, okay, I'm good, but soldier through it, I'm good. I'm seeing a lot more in the civilian and in the veteran side of things of people focusing on, hey, we'll help you get through the VA. We'll help. WTF Nation Radio, we have a VA rep, and it's incredible how much people don't know about this. And like you said earlier, it could be something that was service related, like an IED or a gunshot wound or something, but something like a motorcycle accident on your way to work, that in and of itself is, I bet you I can almost guarantee, I didn't know that. I did not know that something that happened that had nothing to do with war fighting capabilities. That's great. That's fantastic. And more people need to get educated on, hey, if you're going to apply for claims, it's not just your, from what I'm hearing is the repeating theme here, it's not just your what you did in Iraq and Afghanistan or Kosovo or wherever. It's what you did in your time of service overall, not just overseas. And oh man, it says here you're a former military nurse. Did I miss that?
Yeah, I was briefly, I think about a year and a half at the Air Force Academy, and then I got transferred to Peterson Air Force Base.
Oh lordy.
Yeah.
I just got a funny little video from Peterson that had they got a new barracks. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, no one's going to need TSGLI benefits from there because, they've got everything. They've got a fridge, they've got a dishwasher, they've got a sink and an oven. And I had a little propane stove that I kept praying would not burn down my barracks room, So,
oh my gosh.
Bloody Air Force, come on, man. Y'all getting all the good stuff and don't share. So if you had one thing to say, like the most important thing to say about TSGLI, and getting cover and getting a claim and going through the appeals, if you had one over-encompassing important thing to say, what would you want to put out there? Like the one thing you want to leave an impression on with everyone that's listening. What is the one thing that you cannot stress enough?
If you're not sure, ask. Talk to me, talk to somebody. It doesn't hurt to ask because you don't know unless you ask. If you're not sure if your injury qualifies, if you're not sure if you have the medical documentation to support it, just ask. It's not going to hurt anything to ask, because you never know.
So ask. Don't be islands, guys. Don't pull a KJ and sit there and run around. I was a dumb soldier. I'd be like, oh hey, I just pulled my shoulder and now it's no big deal. As long as I don't do X, I'll be fine. And lo and behold, like I get out and I go to the VA, like what the hell's wrong with my shoulder? It's still hurting. And they're like, oh, it was dislocated and you relocated, but it relocated improperly. Oh, son of a gun.
Yeah. Another thing too is that, you guys are tough, and ladies, you're tough. And so if the doctor says you need to stay in the hospital a little bit longer, don't fight it. Stay in the hospital. Stay off that foot. Stay off that, keep your arm elevated. Do what the doctor says. That's so important, because I see, so many service members, I'm tough. I can do this. I can motor through it, and that can be hurtful. So don't do that.
We're not we shouldn't be bulls in a china shop when we get home, should we?
No, let people help you. It's okay to temporarily let people help you. Another thing we didn't talk about either is traumatic brain injury.
Oh yeah, TBIs.
Yeah.
That must be a pain.
Those also qualify as well. Unfortunately, at this time, PTSD does not qualify unless there is a TBI involved with the injury. So
now, why do you think, in a professional opinion, because I know you're a nurse, but why do you think they don't let PTSD be a qualifying factor? Just PTSD alone?
I'm not quite sure. I think they wanted to focus on the physical aspects of the injury. So I'm not quite sure why they didn't do PTSD, and it may be that VA disability covers that. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure.
I mean, I live in a duplex, and my old neighbor was severe, hardcore. I mean, I had to change my alarms on my side of the house, like my cell phone alarm, to something that sounded nothing. It eventually became a chicken, like a rooster, because if he heard what was my normal alarm, which is the dude was gone. He flashback, no way, he was gone. His wife was knocking on my door, hollering. It was. It can be completely debilitating, and I would say that under a category of loss, activities of daily living, it could affect your ADL, your activities of daily living, sure, of where you completely avoid, like you can't go to a grocery store because of whatever reason, or you can't handle driving for whatever reason it may be. I don't know. I mean, it is covered by disability, VA disability, but at the same time, there's got to be those extreme cases where, okay, yeah, they need just more than the $2.5-3 grand at 100% or whatever they're getting.
I totally agree. As far as TSGLI, ADL losses can include standby assistance, physical assistance, and or verbal assistance. So, for example, with TBIs, if the service member is so debilitated that they don't remember to change their clothes, if they don't remember when to eat, when is it mealtime, or they need reminders on when to bathe or groom, those are losses that are covered under TSGLI.
Jesus. That's heartbreaking. It's absolutely heartbreaking.
It is, and there are some TBI patients that, whether it's their cognitive thinking or they just dismiss that they may qualify, just don't want to go through the process. And what I have to say to them is that I've never had a service member come back 3 years later and say, sorry, I really wish I wouldn't have waited that 2 years to get that 50 grand or 75 grand. So it's worth it. And we do most of the work. I mean, we will get records if you need records. We'll order those. And like I said, there's never an upfront cost. All you need to do is just talk to us and tell us what's going on, and then we can see if we can help you.
Oh Lord, it's just this is a part of the veteran community that just rips my heart in half. And even with like it used to be PTSD was the big, oh God, no, we don't talk about that. And now it's hearing about TBIs, and you rarely, there's so little I understand about TBIs because I never see anything about it except for, it's traumatic brain injury. That's oh, hey, this person had a TBI and he ended up developing PTSD, and okay, great. What happened in the brain? And the brain being such a fragile and mystical thing in of itself, because we don't fully understand how that organ works. And it's just, I have to say thank you for the work you're doing, and for those, you said 600, you said you did 600 cases.
Yes.
600 for those 600 people that you help. That is by far one of the greatest things that, putting yourself in the service to others willingly is one of the greatest achievements a human being can do, and that is fantastic that you chose this to become a life calling, and I'm very impressed. Thank you very much for what you've done.
Well, you're very welcome. I do the easy part. You guys do the hard part.
Yeah, it can be called in reverse. It's like I said, I was an infantryman. My first wife was a pharmacy tech. She was in medical. My current wife is a massage therapist and very involved in medicine. And it's just, you see a theme there. I don't know anything about medicine. I marry women with medicine. It's one of those areas that it's a fight for me to go to the doctor. My wife, I'll get sick and I'm like, it's just a cold. It's just a flu. No big deal. But it's a sentiment that's shared with a lot of veterans, and especially with something as important that can get you so much benefits. 50 grand right then and there takes care of, that can pay your rent for a year, that can pay your bills for a year, depending on what you need it for. 100 grand, you're looking at, if you're smart, that's up to 5 years of just whatever you need if you're smart. That's a hell of a thing you're doing for the veteran community, and for something that, if something happens to one of our active duty or reserves and National Guardsmen, they know it's available out there. I'm gonna plug your contact info real quick.
Thank you.
Where is it? It's here somewhere. Here we go. But if you go to their website at TSGLI claimassistance.com, at the very bottom there's a little area that says contact info, and it's got Terri's information or email, and then it has a subject area: name, email, subject, and message. And that's, what did you say, that's the best way to get into, or direct email to your you filling out those fields and sending you a message to the website, or just sending you a direct email through from a personal email? What would you say is the easiest way to get to you?
Either way, you can contact me on the website, or you can email me at tsgliclaimassistance@gmail.com. I'm on Facebook at TSGLI Claim Assistance. I'm on Twitter at TSGLI Assistance. So I'm out there. So I also I can provide Peter Cameron. He's the attorney in San Diego. Just mentioned that you heard me on the show today. His phone number is 877-603-8473.
8473, and we'll get that pinned in the comments right away.
Great.
And we have your Twitter, your Facebook, and your personal page all there as well. So if you guys need help with TSGLI, feel free, reach out, give a call, give a call to Peter, give a text, email to Terri. It has been an honor and a privilege to talk with you about this whole new side of the veteran fight. Before you came on, I was talking about the discretionary spending, and it's a, even I was saying, if they took that extra 8% to bring military spending down to 45%, that extra 8% means that that could mean, that I think it was like 20 billion or 30 billion. I did the math on break, but the extra 20 or 30 billion could be used for furthering TSGLI claims or increasing rates for those who are disabled. And for you that deals with this day in, day out, thank you so much for that selfless service. One of our core values in the Army.
You are very welcome. It is my pleasure, and thank you for your service. And I'm just so grateful for everyone's service out there, and I appreciate you having me on the show today.
Hey, not a problem. I do have one final silly question just to get you a laugh.
Okay.
So you have repeating waves of fourth graders attacking you. I'm kidding. And every fifth wave, there's a fifth grade boss. How many waves do you think? And the area you're in is in a 2-story house. How many waves do you think you can make it before you're completely overrun? And you can use whatever at your disposal to handle the waves. Like for one, I would chop down the stairs and throw candy. Like I would just do that. Easy peasy. Then they're all hyped up and they all fall asleep within a half hour. It's all over. It's done.
Or you can play a game with them and say, the stairs are lava.
There we go. But it has been an absolute pleasure, Terri. Feel free, give us a call, come back whenever you'd like to. I definitely want to hear about what's done and achieved in 2018 with TSGLI claim assistance. So yeah, definitely stay in contact, and best of luck. And I feel bad that Peter's not here, but if you can, give him my best as well.
I certainly will. Thank you again, KJ.
Hey, not a problem.
Have a good day.
You too. Once again, that was Terri Burns from TSGLI Claims Assistance. You can find them on Facebook at TSGLI Claim Assistance. Their website is tsgliclaimassistance.com, and their Twitter is TSGLI Assistance as well. All of that is pinned in the comments, and you can also get in contact with, if you'd like to, he was supposed to be here, but life intervened, Peter Cameron, and we're going to put his phone number in the comments as well, as you hear me typing out on my uberly loud mechanical keyboard. All right, let me get that comment out there. There we go, and there is Peter's phone number. And man, that is just fantastic. I can't get over what Terri does, and man, I see you're still with us, and I tried starting on my own veteran thing for PTSD 2 years ago, and it was a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. Like I got as far as talking to a psychiatrist and getting the shrinks involved, but basically it was airsofting, it was BB guns, and hey, instead of stepping right, you stepped left theory, that you worked through and did what you were supposed to do, and it was a nightmare. Oh my God, never went anywhere because the VA was absolutely atrocious. I'm in Nashville, so our VAs are absolutely atrocious here in Tennessee, and it was appalling that something that cheap, effective, hey, you stepped left instead of right, you didn't step on that IED, you completely avoided it, and getting people through those traumatic situations. And it was just, I went to the VA like, hey, is there any way, any way we can barter, any way I can get referrals, any way I can do this? No. What? Why not? Oh, well, it's not a proven science. Neither is psychology. Oh, Lord. So that being said, Terri, we appreciate you coming on. You were absolutely fantastic and wonderful. Oh, Lord.
KJ.
So, let's see. What else we got? How are we going to close out the show? We're going to talk about, let's get the Google News going, because I know there's a VA article that just popped up that I just love talking about the Department of Veteran Affairs and their wonderful treatment of veterans and how they're uberly on topic and on point. You're welcome to stay and chit chat about the VA with me if you'd like, Terri. But actually, this is actually fairly decent. Is that the VA Secretary and the Canadian Minister of Veteran Affairs are forging a partnership to address issues faced by both nations' veterans. And what's going on is our Secretary of VA, Dr. David J. Shulkin, and Canada's Minister of Veteran Affairs and Associate Minister of National Defense, the Honorable Kent Herr, joined officials from both nations at VA headquarters to discuss how strategic partnerships can help improve benefits and service for veterans. Expanding partnerships even beyond our geographic boundaries will allow us to improve our services to our veterans and their families. And this new partnership with a key ally will allow us to share best practices in the areas of healthcare, benefits, and important support programs. The two-day U.S.-Canadian VA meeting focused on issues affecting veterans from both nations, such as easing service members' transition to civilian life, preventing homelessness among the veteran community, and mental health support. Pardon me. Veteran affairs officials from both countries agreed that the meeting was a good first step towards mutual collaboration between allied nations as they seek opportunities to continue supporting veterans and their families. So here's the question I have, is that do you think that there will be a point where the Canadian Veteran Affairs and the American Veteran Affairs, because pretty much if we go do something, the Canadians are right behind us and the Brits as well. Do you think there'll be a point where, oh, hey, we don't have the services here in Nashville, but Montreal does, or Sacramento does? You know, do you see something like that happening where you have, cross-border medical support? Like, I don't see that happening with TSGLI, but I do see, oh, hey, there's a cancer specialist in Toronto that is just 100% effective rate. 100% of the time he just cuts it out and it's gone. Could you see that level of coordination and cooperation between the two countries, especially with the jackassery that's going on with the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his attitude towards the veteran community?
Yeah.
Which is,
well, I think that would be amazing. I mean, to share resources. Certainly there's a lot of logistics involved. I don't even want to get into that. I wouldn't even know where to start with that. But anytime it can help our veterans, I'd say, heck yeah.
I mean, I for one would love to go to Toronto because one of my brothers lives there, and he's a former corrections officer, and he's up there for cancer treatments. And I, for one, would love to go to Toronto and be like, oh, hey, I'm here and I need to get, I don't know, nerve testing done. That would, because, with the completely different styles of healthcare, it's a socialist model in Canada where it's free healthcare for all, which is good. I can respect that. And here in the United States, where in the VA it's free for all veterans, it's got to be distributing that knowledge and wealth. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, hey, we have this, and since we don't have this in the U.S., but they have that in Canada, go. That would be an incredible step forward to something like, what's it called? Some guy was spouting in a conspiracy theory about how the North America is going to become one giant super country like the European Union. But that would be pretty interesting, having something like the North American Union where we can send our troops to, oh, hey, we don't have a good specialist here. Go to Canada. Go to Mexico. Go to Mexico. Go to Panama. Go to wherever. I don't know. Just an interesting little thing that just popped up on my feed since we're hitting it off about the VA.
That's interesting. Yeah, I never really thought about that, but yeah, certainly there are talented doctors all over the world. And if it means getting that military member or veteran the proper care, I'm all for it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. The only thing I can see a problem in is traveling, Imagine me like, oh, hey, we don't have the resources here in Kansas, but we got them in Toronto. What? I got to fly to Toronto? Yeah, we'll pay for your flight. Oh, my God. Or in reverse, the Canadians, like, we don't have them here, but we got somebody in Orlando. Well, kids, you're going to Disneyland for the next couple of weeks. How about that? No Tim Hortons.
Right.
I can hear my brother up north getting ready to shoot at me with his rubber band gun. Oh, Lordy. All right, I'm gonna knock out some house cleaning. Once again, it was a pleasure chit-chatting with you, Terry, and hearing about
Thank you.
TSGLI.
Thank you so much, KJ. Have a good day.
You too. So long. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we have some fantastic guests coming up. We just had on Terry Burns from TSGLI Claims Assistance. Tonight, for Tied Up Tuesdays, we have Kate Mannion. She was in the Marine Corps from 2008 to 2012 and was a member of the Marine Corps' first female engagement team. She deployed to Afghanistan twice, crapped her pants once, and after she got out, she finished a degree at Fordham University in New York City and participated in the Veteran Immersion Program at The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. Pardon me. Now she's a contributor for the military satire site Duffel Blog, the only trusted news source in the world, because I trust them to report bullshit. And coordinates social media for Barstool Sports military podcast Zero Blog 30, which if you haven't checked out Zero Blog 30, it's amazing. I just started listening to them. She's done sketch, improv, and stand-up, and now bombs at stand-up open mics in the Philly area. This Thursday, and I'm so pissed because I'm going to be in class. I'm going to miss him. NASCAR driver Jesse Iwuju. He's a commissioned surface warfare officer in the Navy, and he's the first active duty NASCAR driver in 2015. He began his stock car racing series with aspirations of eventually rising to the top level in NASCAR, and he's currently in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West. As a rookie in 2016, he finished top 10 overall in points for the season out of 59 drivers in the Pro Series West, and he's going into his sophomore years in the K&N Pro Series season for 2017. Then, next Tuesday, Carl Forsling from Task and Purpose. Carl Forsling is a senior columnist for Task and Purpose. He was a Marine MV-22B pilot and a former CH-46E pilot who retired from the military after 26 years of service. He is the father of 2 children and a graduate of Boston University and the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. Task and Purpose launched in 2014 to provide authentic, unfiltered perspectives on military and veteran issues in the post-9/11 era. National security touches on just about every aspect of American society, but too often, those who are most responsible for that security get stereotyped, ignored, or misrepresented by the media. They aim to give voice to our service members, veterans, and military families who know better than anyone else the impact the global war on terror has made on our country. They fulfill that mission through unapologetic investigative reporting, storytelling, and analysis of cultural issues and current affairs. Task and Purpose teams of veterans, military family members, and journalists who have covered the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan can tell the stories of the military and veterans communities, not just because they're paying attention, but because their personal and professional experiences with conflict compel them. Continuing on, next Tuesday, February 20th, we have Lieutenant Yvette Pinder and retired Army Major Ed Polito from Real Warriors. The Psychological Health Center of Excellence, PHCOE, oversees the Real Warrior campaign as part of the Defense Department's overall effort to promote a culture of support for psychological health. PHCOE's mission is to improve the lives of our nation's service members, veterans, and families by advancing excellence in psychological health care and prevention of psychological health disorders. PHCOE collaborates across the Defense Department, Department of Veteran Affairs, and other agencies to provide leadership and expertise and drive improvements in the psychological health outcomes. Oh man, that was a word. That was a mouthful. I'm so sorry. Once again, 4 a.m. late night. Then the following Friday, February 23rd, we have Scott Morrison from Operation Supply Drop. In response to a growing need from our deployed troops requesting generationally relevant gear from back home, Operation Supply Drop was founded in 2010 with a focus on delivering video game care packages downrange. As they grew and service members returned home to face various transitional challenges, our objective evolved to identify and address the underlying needs of these veterans and their families. Today, Operation Supply Drop is a direct reflection of listening to those who we serve. Tens of thousands of our active duty members are receiving care packages and courtesy of our generous gaming partners, while we develop substantial programming to work with veterans during their transition home. Our programs address mental health, homelessness, employment for veterans and their families, accompanied by a global structure encouraging community service and commitment towards one another. February 24th, a Saturday, we have Gina Ruggiero from Creative Drill Sergeants. Our nation is faced with an increasing number of Iraq and Afghanistan OIF veterans separating from military service with TBIs, post-traumatic stress disorder, and often military sexual trauma. homelessness risk, and suicide rates among our nation's heroes will continue to rise without more effective coping mechanisms for use as trauma healing interventions. Trauma healing interventions begin with the 4 connected components of our mission statement that help prevent homelessness and suicides among veterans and can lead to successful reintegration into civilian life. That sounds pretty damn cool. Love to hear what Gina has to say about that. Also, do not forget to check out our nonprofit partners. We have, as always, the fantastic Project Overwatch. They have their current campaign, Paw Patrol. Get the cameras on the back of the dogs, increase the situational awareness, increase the capabilities of both the canine and the officer. And remember, it is entirely not-for-profit, so every dollar you donate will go to the campaign, and as always, Rangers lead the way. And also, War Horses for Veterans is still in the process of getting a facility structure up and running inside their facility so they can operate year-round. This means that you'll have year-round capabilities to do your 3-day horse networking experience, bond with the horses, hang out, drink a beer in a safe and comfortable country environment, and share your no shit there I was stories. Ice and Red Leg went out there, they threw rope and rode horses. I'm going to work my way out there at some point so I can get over my fear of horses, and we'll have a grand old time out there as well. Also, don't forget to check out our terrestrial partner, the Veterans Report. If you want veteran news and information all in one place, stop by theveteransreport.com. No opinion, no politics, no bias, just regularly updated news about topics like the VA, changes in benefits, vets helping vets, and anything else that makes the news. There are links to all major media outlets, federal and state veteran affairs departments. Even a link to a database of over 1,000 war movies on IMDb. Like them on Facebook too, which is in the description of the video. And with that being said, guys, if you're having any issues trying to get some TSGLI, you have any of these things that are, that are a category of loss, sensory losses, burns, paralysis, amputation, limb salvage, facial reconstruction, activities of daily living impeded, inpatient hospitalization, or genitourinary loss, reach out to Terri. Get in contact with them. Do that and make sure you take that step, because why the hell pass up on possibly $20, $30, $50, $100,000? That's money in the bank that can help you and your family. And to Terri and the crew there, you guys are doing an incredible job, and hell yeah, I love hearing about anything that's dealing with the VA and people helping our brothers and sisters. We're at our most vulnerable there. And with that being said, I'm going to go have a nice little brunch with my wife, and I'm going to have some shots, and I will catch you all tonight for, almost forgot. Don't forget, we're not going to catch anyone yet. I got to talk about the shows. Every Tuesday and Thursday, you have Jose's Taco Truck at noon Eastern Time with me, KJ, yelling and screaming. Don't forget, Tuesdays, we also have Tied Up Tuesdays with Minx and Grey Cloud to talk about the relevant news and discussions that have been going on. Wednesdays are a day of no scheduled activities. WTF Nation Gaming will return next Wednesday. I'm sorry, I've been in class. Please forgive me. I have to get the job skills and all that shit. Thursdays, once again, Jose's Taco Truck. And then at 2000, we have Sergeant's Time with Ice, Mike Golf, and Doc Madness, talking about your active duty Army community. Fridays, we have More Freedom Than You Can Handle. Minx and Mud Puppy delivering it. Be sure to ask Minx about 19.1 inches and her love of summer. Saturday, we have the most savage night of radio, Saturday Night Savagery with Jay Reddy and Pookie, talking about everything from tentacle porn to, that fucking hamster Puxatawny Phil. And then, of course, we have our triumphant return continuing of The Green Room with Jason and Charlie, which, by the way, Jason, congrats, as always. Tie it all back around. On Mondays, we have the Monday edition hosted by Ice, where they're going to tackle current events and what happened over the weekend. And with that being said, I'm going to call it out shots. I'm going to go have some buttermilk pancakes, and I'm going to get my ass ready to buy some Rip Its and go to class and make some more drinks. So I will see you all tonight for Tied Up Tuesday with Minx and Grey Cloud. Shots!
What it is to see when you look at me deep into the photography. I don't really need your sympathy. just tell me your thoughts. Have I got what they got, and is it a plot done for naught? Am I not like you because I do what I do? Who knew that I could lose a few of you cause I bleed blue? But it's true, I know cause I see it every day as I work and I sleep the day away. Like you I have pain and like you I have fear. Can I pay all of the bills and still make it through the year? Will I make it home alive? Should I pray to the sky every day and every night? Will I hold you by my side? But in the public eye I don't even have a heart. A robot of the system moving only when I'm told to start. Rip apart my art, I'm strong like a flower blooming. You got it all wrong, I know. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
Call me a vet like a soldier, Green Beret, 21 gun salute, don't wanna see the day. In the constant war zone, in the home of the brave, where they hate the police until they saving the day. I got kids like you, a mortgage like you, so blue lives matter, and so does yours too. All this separation and divide, open your eyes. If you cut us all open, we the same inside. The only difference is I run to the gunfight. Your peace when it's chaos, when the people don't act right. But I'm under scrutiny for trying to protect me. You pull a pistol and I'm shooting for trying to contest me. I got a quick second to make a deadly decision. The media portray me like a kid for a living, like I'm cold with no heart, a brain with no thoughts, a body with no feeling, a life with no cause.
Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. I'm damned if I do, and damned if I don't. It's like every single time I say what's on my mind, they go for my throat. They spew evil words, if you are absurd. Always grinding, grinning, and killing my soul with these verbs. Hold me down, like I can't gasp for air. I'm closed inside of a box, like I'm inside Fort Knox. Every time that I'm there, I don't know why they think that I'm different from you. All that's true is I'm a like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
You're listening to the sounds of WTF Nation Radio.